You know, we've done hundreds of kitchens, and what I find time after time again, people spend money on places over time, they regret they did. Finding that fine line to having that look you want in your kitchen, but also the functionality is the trick. So that's something I want to talk about today. So if you stick around by the end of this video, you'll learn what to spend money on and what not to spend the money on your kitchen remodel. Hey, my name is Jerry Martin, the owner of A New Day Construction, servicing Northeast Georgia. If you're looking to do any remodel, please reach out. There should be a link above this video to get in contact with us. So where I would definitely splurge on is cabinets. So when it comes to cabinets construction, especially, these are things you want to look out for when you're buying a cabinet. Now, we have a showroom here in Winder, Georgia, and it really makes it easy when customers get to come in and actually touch and feel and actually see the cabinet and how it's constructed itself. If you're working with a contractor and not able to see the cabinet, not able to see how it's made, that's something you definitely want to request. Maybe they have a showroom they're working out of, but you want to look and see how these constructed. Just don't take their word for it. So these are things you need to be looking for. So the biggest thing is when you're looking down on the cabinet, make sure it's all plywood constructed and stay away from the particle boards because over time, it's just not going to hold up. As you know, back in the day, all your door slides were mounted on the sides, which we've got away from in the industry because you just get a better soft close and a stronger slide if you mount it underneath. Basically, what you're looking for, if you got a drawer that's full, you should be able to slam that drawer and not hear a thing. So that's what you're looking for. And when it comes to soft closed doors, making sure you got one that's going to close softly. So don't make that noise when your kids are slamming the cabinets. Or you maybe upset at your spouse, but that's another story. Anyway, this is a dovetail joint. You can see how when it's applied together, it's joined together, they can't come apart. It's glued in there. So the old way or some of the cheap way of doing it, just having the butt joints here, that's not going to hold up over time. So making sure it has dovetail is definitely something you want to look for. And flooring is another area I would not skimp on because flooring, just like your cabinetry, takes a beating every day, especially your floors. If you have kids, if you have pets, very, very important you spend money on flooring. I've seen people skimp on flooring and regret it 2 to 3 years in. So of course, in kitchens, tiles, always a good favorite. It's going to be most expensive. So if you're on a budget, we can look at different options there. We actually have VCT. We also have other options we can talk about that mimic the look of tile, but doesn't come with that tile labor price. And of course, there's hardwoods, depending on your house layout. Hardwoods are great, but of course they scratch over time if you have pets. And if you have hardwoods, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we have linked up with LifeProof. And so LifeProof makes an excellent LVP flooring. What you're looking for when it comes to LVP, there's a lot of it out on the market out there. A lot of substandard materials that will get you in trouble over time. So what you're looking for first and foremost is what it's made out of. This is a solid PVC core product. In other words, you can have a flood in your house, pull this stuff up, unsnap it, pull it up, dry it out, click it back together and put it right back in. That's how good this is. The other thing you're looking for when it comes to LVP is your wear layer. That's the one that's going to take all the abuse. So if you're dealing with kids, pets, stuff like that, very, very important. LifeProof carries a 22 mil commercial wear layer that is absolutely incredible. We've been selling this product for over 5 years and very few callbacks, and those that called back was actually some installation issues that shouldn't have happened. That I've never had a callback of this actually deteriorating, coming apart, and just not living up to expectations of this flooring. Now, LVP flooring on the back always has a good padding on it, so you make sure you have good padding that's going to help that cushion effect. But again, things you're looking for is something that doesn't have wood fibers. When you start looking out there, you're going to find a lot of wood fibers. Wood fibers are going to, of course, not going to retain water. When they say waterproof, there's a difference between waterproof and water resistant. This is a true waterproof product. I mean, it means we can dunk it in water, and that's going to happen to it. Water resistance is basically if you spill water on it, cleaned up, you shouldn't have any problems. Not if you just immerse it with water. That wood fibers will swell over time, the locks start breaking, and you have a mess on your hands. Remember, cheap flooring can scratch easy, and the big one is actually separate and shift when it comes apart. That's why you're looking for a good solid material that has these locks on there, because once they lock in, you don't want them to come apart. Some of your lesser expensive products, those locks won't hold, and over time, you regret trying to save money on that flooring. And then there's countertops. Now, I've had people spend thousands and thousands of dollars on countertops because they're just so beautiful. This is a piece of quartzite that we have in the showroom. Now, if you ask me if I'd spend this money to put in my house, probably not. Because in my case, I'm looking for more functionality. The stuff that's going to make my life easier. Again, this is beautiful, and I come in here to show and look at it all the time, and it blows people away. But this is the top of the line when it comes to countertops, when it gets to quartzites. So now let's talk about the different countertop options. Of course, we just talked about quartzite, which is the top of the top. It's your most natural stone with the most veinings, and just it's a beautiful translucence. You can't get better than that. Say if you've got the money to get both functionality and have that amazing look, that's for you. But if you want to cut back a little bit and save some money so you can get that functionality, then you step in some of your granites. And most of your level 1 granites are going to be what you see here, where you see the pieces of granite put together. And then when you step up with granite, the natural stone comes through. And of course, that's when the prices will start climbing. Now there's also quartz. Now quartz is a great product. It's a man-made product. The thing about quartz, you can get it in most any design you want, any flakes you wanted, anything like that. The only drawback with quartz is you can't put anything hot on it. So if you put a hot pan on quartz, it would actually melt it and ruin your countertop. So if you're cooking a lot, make sure you know the ins and outs when it comes to quartz. Now what I will say is when friends come over, they're not going to know whether you spent $10,000 or $4,000 on countertop. And to be quite honest, 6 months into it, you're going to feel the same too. So my suggestion is make sure you're spending on functionality, which we're going to get to next. So again, if you have the money, of course, the quartzite's where you want to be. But if you ask me, functionality and durability is what you need to be looking for. Still get an amazing looking kitchen that when your friends come over, it's a wow factor. But when you start showing them all the bells and whistles that make your life a lot easier, that's what they're going to be jealous of. So a little pro tip, a good looking backsplash can make a budget-friendly countertop look amazing. Okay, here's the fun part, functionality. So first, drawers, drawers, drawers. Making sure you have more drawers than you have doors. And so the reason being, as we get older, and I'm feeling it, I want to be able to let her open the drawer, grab her stuff and pull it out. Of course, if she needs me, I'd be glad to help her, but this will help both of us. Now, what I would spend money on is organizers, nice organizers. Again, this is stuff they're using every day that's going to make your life easier. And keeping your stuff separated is a must. I'm sure you have those junk drawers like I do that you can't find anything. So getting some organizers is really going to help you keep things in their place. Organizers is going to make your life a lot easier. Of course, as a trash can pullout, that's truly a necessity. You have your spice rack organizers. There's several different options in there. Of course, the Lazy Susans is always a hit because in blind corners, you want to be able to get as much storage you can. Tinsel organizers that will help as you're cooking to have everything in one place. So you don't have to hunt around for your utensils. There's just so many bells and whistles when it comes to cabinetry upgrades that can make your life a lot easier, and that's where I enjoy spending my money. Hiring the right contractor when you're doing a kitchen remodel is a must. There's so many details when it comes into cabinetry and layouts and designs. You want to make sure you have a contractor that's actually educated when it comes to cabinetry, how they're designed, the functionality, and unfortunately with all the RTA cabinets out there, which is ready to assemble, it has actually made contractors' life a lot easier. They don't have to have a showroom. They show you pictures in the catalog, pick the cabinets up, flat pack, they assemble them, and they hang them on your wall without really going through the details and the functionality. So making sure you're working with a contractor that can focus on functionality and designing a beautiful kitchen for you. So working with our interior designer, they're going to help you out with the overall functional layout of the kitchen, making sure we catch all those details, and then we'll produce you a 3D image of what your kitchen is going to look like before we even start your jobs, so you know exactly what to expect once we're done. So one of the biggest things you're looking for when working with a contractor that helps you with your kitchen remodel, make sure the details are actually in writing and signed. We go a step above. Not only in our agreement we talk about cabinetries, and after we do design and layout and all the organizers, we produce another agreement, which is our cabinet design agreement, to make sure everything is there in detail, that you sign off on, we sign off on. That way there's no chance of miscommunication. Again, there's a lot of details when it goes into cabinetry. If your contractor has a few lines describing your cabinetry in your contract, be careful. You may not get exactly what you want when it comes to the cabinetry. If you like this video, make sure you check out our one about LVP flooring, which ones to look for, which ones to run from.